Ho ho homies, get in focus and take notice. I am what is. Oh yeah, the showbiz. Hello everyone, it's me, the woke Ezekiel here, and today we're going to be talking about fascism. So there isn't any pure thing that we can tell is a sign of fascism. No official signs anyway. However, there's a lot of theories, and all of them come about to around the same 14 things. So the 14 characteristics of fascism is kind of what I'm going off here, eh? So essentially, fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, and ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement that rose to prominence in early 20th century Europe. Fascism is characterized by support for a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived interest of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the economy, opposed to communism, democracy, liberalism, pluralism, and socialism. Fascism is at the far right of the traditional left-right spectrum. Remember that it's all of these things put together, not just a singular thing. Remember that this should not be worrying unless most of these characteristics you see very commonly in your society. That could be a problem. The 14 or 16 characteristics of fascism. Number 1, powerful and continuing nationalism. Fascist regimes tend to make constant use of patriotic mottos, slogans, symbols, songs, and other paraphernalia. Flags are seen everywhere, as are flag symbols on clothing and in public displays. Number 2, disdain for the recognition of human rights. Because of fear of enemies and the need for security, the people in fascist regimes are persuaded that human rights can be ignored in certain cases because of need. The people tend to look the other way or even approve of torture, summary, executions, assassinations, long incarcerations of prisoners, all that sort of stuff, which is not good whatsoever. If you can't tell already, fascism, not really a good thing. Identification of enemies, scapegoats. Number 3 is identification of enemies, scapegoats as a unifying cause. The people are rallied into unifying patriotic frenzy over the need to eliminate a perceived common threat or foe. Racial, ethnic, or religious minorities, liberals, communists, socialists, terrorists, etc. Anything that they find threatening. Number 4, supremacy of the military. Even when there's widespread domestic problems, the military is given a disproportionate amount of government funding, and the domestic agenda is neglected. Soldiers in military service are glamorized a lot. Number 5, we have rampant sexism. The government of fascist nations tend to be exclusively male-dominated. Under fascist regimes, traditional gender roles are made more rigid. Opposition to abortion is high, as is homophobia and anti-gay legislation and national policy. Number 6, controlled mass media. Sometimes the media is directly controlled by the government, but in other cases, the media is indirectly controlled by government regulation or sympathetic media spokespeople and executives. Censorship, especially in wartime, is very common. We haven't seen any of that, eh? Surely not. Number 7, obsession with national security. Fear is used as a motivational tool by the government over the masses. Number 8, religion and government are intertwined. Governments in fascist nations tend to use the most common religion in the nation as a tool to manipulate public opinion. Religious rhetoric and terminology is common from government leaders, even when the major tenets of the religion are diametrically opposed to the government's policies or actions. Number 9, corporate power is protected. The industrial and business aristocracy of a fascist nation often are the ones who put the aristocracy. I messed up there. The industrial and business aristocracy of a fascist nation often are the ones who put the government leaders into power, creating a mutually beneficial business/government relationship and power elite. Number 10, labor power is suppressed. Because the organizing power of labor is the only real threat to a fascist government, labor unions are either eliminated entirely or are severely suppressed. Number 11, disdain for intellectuals and the arts. Fascist nations tend to promote and tolerate open hostility to higher education and academia. It's not common for professors and other academics to be censored or even arrested. Free expression in the arts is openly attacked, and governments often refuse to fund the arts. It's funny because I've been told a lot in college that I'm being indoctrinated because I'm going to college, and it's a little bit weird, eh? Number 12. Obsession with crime and punishment. Under fascist regimes, the police are given almost limitless power to enforce laws. The people are often willing to overlook police abuses and even forego civil liberties in the name of patriotism. There is often a national police force with virtually unlimited power in fascist nations. I wonder what you think that is, eh? Rampant cronyism and corruption. Fascist regimes almost always are governed by groups of friends and associates who appoint each other to government positions and use governmental power and authority to protect their friends from accountability. It is not uncommon in fascist regimes for natural resources and even treasures to be appropriated or given outright, or even outright stolen by government leaders. Fraudulent elections. Sometimes elections in fascist nations are a complete sham. Other times, elections are manipulated by smear campaigns against or even assassination of opposition candidates, use of legislation to control voting numbers, like gerrymandering, or political district boundaries, and manipulation of the media. Fascist nations also typically use their judiciaries to manipulate or control elections. Now, all these things were taken out of the 14 characteristics of fascism, which were given by Lawrence Britt, who isn't exactly the best source. However, it is very interesting. Well, actually, first let's get to the extras. Fixation with national decline and victimhood. For instance, thinking that we're all under attack by some group of people that aren't really posing a threat. White replacement theory is also a big problem, fostering a sense of the nation being under attack. That kind of goes with the fixation with natural decline and victimhood. Cult with an infallible leader that can do no wrong, seeking to expand territory through armed conflict, and loyalty to the leader is more important than competence. Overall, what you need to understand is this, eh? Fascism is bad? It's just bad, eh? Antifa is a mindset, one that you should have, and don't wait until it's here and I have to say, I told you so.